A friend of mine recently had a tetanus shot, just normal procedure. And then in the afternoon, he went to draw some art in the museum. The next day, he woke up and he had this awful headache and he was really, really sick. So, so here's the thought, right? If you get a tetanus shot and you go to the museum to paint and do art, you become very sick. Now you might be laughing right now because what's the relationship? Actually, this is a mistake our teams make all the time. So teams move into assumption-based development. They develop new features, they have a lot of assumptions, they release them, and it's very hard for them to differentiate between causation and correlation. What do I mean? They'll get a result and they'll say, hey, that's the result we thought we were going to get. Hooray, let's go and develop this feature. And we can't be more wrong. So when we put a feature, we put an assumption out there, we got to connect it to an hypothesis. The difference being, an assumption I can't validate by a test. An hypothesis, scientific hypothesis, where I call out, that's really important, I have to call out the expected outcome. So, for example, I assume that releasing this feature will increase click-through rate by 20%. And the team will push back and say, how do you know? I don't. And it's on the team. And it's about falling in love with the problem, not the solution. We really have to understand the problem before we embark on development. And only by understanding the problem can we make a hypothesis-driven call about what it is we want to see. So if you want to adopt this concept of objective-based road mapping, of hypothesis-driven development, you gotta be very rigorous about the expected result you want to see. Otherwise, it's really like in traditional project management. You have lessons learned. People say, hey, we learned a lot, right? We didn't, though, set up and say what it is we're trying to learn, what would be a measure of success, and how many experiments do we need to perform in order to validate that success. So good luck with hypothesis-driven development. Find more links down below. Reach out and ask me questions if you want. See you next week.